Welcome to Google for our 6th AI event. This one I'm particularly excited about because it is bringing us, we're going to be talking a lot today about things that are bringing us very close to Mike and my original vision for Multiply when we started the company nearly a decade ago now. But we're now at the point where AI has moved so far in the direction we've needed it to, and we've actually moved so far in terms of the way customers today, clients today are interacting with technology. As with previous events, there is a Slido. So if you go to slido.com, and I'll put this back up in a moment, but if you go to that particular, if you put in that particular access code, you can submit questions. The last 6, 9, 12 months or so, the way I've personally been using AI tools has really evolved. Like I've really sensed them advancing in how useful they've been. I guess the culmination of a lot of this is that I'm just using them a lot more. And there is some very fundamental aspect to advice, to helping people with their money, to guidance, to whatever kind of area you're operating in, which is really getting to know people. In order to really help people in the best way possible, you first need to get to the point, and this is what great advisors do, by the way. They ask fantastic questions. They really get to the bottom of what drives people, what they value. So I thought in terms of introducing today, I'd go through a little bit of an exercise as to how well the tools I've been using have got to know me, just as a little bit of a thought exercise. So I did ask it questions about what I truly, deeply care about. This is cinnamon buns, why not? But obviously this is what I care. This is, I guess, what I care about short term. Like the context of this is we do mini bake-offs in our family, and I haven't won one yet. So there you go. But it is a family of 4. Like it picked up that I deeply care about my family and my dog, which it subsequently added on. But it's going way further. This is kind of the short-term stuff. This is like perhaps a bit tongue-in-cheek. It's going further. It's really like, the things I really care about, right? So when I use all these AI tools, I get help from it around figuring out what to do with my fantasy football team. I ask it questions about football. This is something I deeply care about. This is something I'd be wanting to spend my time on, and perhaps even resources on into the future, right? Getting an Arsenal season ticket, that kind of thing. This is an interesting one. So I have an account that I kind of use with my wife. We're looking to do some home renovations, and we've been using these tools to help us navigate that. I mean, look, this is not me going to these AI tools asking it for help about my future. This is really looking to see what it's picked up from the conversations I've been having, from the memory, from all of that context that it's been gathering. Stuff that, if we were having this conversation 5, 10 years ago, would be the sorts of things you would almost like back a bank to be able to understand through spending habits or whatever it may be. This is like another whole dimension to that. It knows I love to travel. I asked loads of questions about traveling. This is the Dalaman coast in Turkey, so I'm hoping to go there quite soon. And now let's go on to the more personal aspects to people. So I'm sure many of you have already done this around going into something like ChatGPT and asking about what it perceives to be your strengths, your weaknesses, that kind of thing. Obviously, there's a whole set of strengths, and I must have lost the slide with all my weaknesses, unfortunately. So look at that, it didn't show up. But you can go deeper. Like great advisors go deeper. Great advisors work out what really makes people tick. It works out their values. It works out what they deeply care about, what matters to them, how they want their futures to unfold. And I'm not saying we're there yet, but I'm saying there is a direction of travel where a lot of these experiences are getting deeper and deeper. And this is, something like Gemini, ChatGPT, they're quite generic. They're not trained or focused on helping people with their money as of yet. These are the sorts of things, these are the sorts of insights you can derive from these sorts of tools. And where do we feel at Multiply this is going to take us? Like ultimately, we built the company to help people achieve their goals and improve their financial well-being. And we believe it's just going to make us so much more effective. And our partner firms that we work with, so much more effective at that point at helping people. Because now we're not just asking when do you want to retire, how much do you want when you retire. We're not just asking very shallow questions around people's futures, around what matters to people. We are now getting that ability to go much deeper and to forge that much deeper understanding, which helps us figure out the recommendations to make, but also how to put people's financial plans in action. It's helping us figure out how to explain and position financial plans, what metaphors to use. There's so much depth and richness that comes out of this particular capability. Which brings me on to the agenda for today. Yep, I've just welcomed you all, and then we've got a keynote from Danish from Google. So he is going to be talking about learnings that have been brought over from Google, from other industries, around this topic of injecting the very kind of human elements and making these experiences more human. We've then, unfortunately, John has had to kind of step out for personal reasons, but he is going to be doing a recording for us. John is the UK MD of a company called Wiser, and they have an AI digital therapist that they have launched. It is prescribed by the NHS. It's doing really well. It's out in the US as well. And to me, therapy is like pretty much the most human of human services, right? Like if you were to tell me 5-10 years ago, there will be something in your pocket, some kind of AI experience to provide therapy for people, I'd have thought you were bonkers. But here we are today, and there's some really great results from all of that work being done. We've then got our very own Mike, my co-founder and CTO. He's going to be taking you through some of the stuff we've been working on, some of the stuff we've been thinking through around humanizing digital advice. We've then got a quick coffee break, and then a panel discussion with Bianca from Google, Matt from Monzo, Mike, Aritra from Lloyd's, and I'll be moderating that. And then afterwards, we've probably got about 15 minutes to half an hour of networking.